Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to imagine something with me for a moment. Close your eyes and picture a race, the race of life. Now I want you to think about the runner in that race. It's you. It's always been you. But here's the question. Are you looking at the other runners while you're running? Are you so caught up in their pace, their progress, and their position that you lose focus on your own path? You see, too many of us spend our lives looking left and right, comparing ourselves to everyone around us. We look at their success, their accomplishments, their lifestyles, and before you know it, we've become distracted. We've lost sight of the most important thing in this race, ourselves. Now, don't misunderstand me. It's not wrong to admire someone's achievements or learn from their experiences, but it's dangerous to make their journey your own. Why? Because you have a unique path. You have a different set of challenges, different opportunities, and a completely different purpose. The moment you start measuring your success against others, you begin to lose the essence of who you are and what you're meant to become. Personal responsibility is one of the most powerful principles you can adopt in your life. If you want to create lasting success and fulfillment, you must understand that everything begins with you. So often we make excuses or place blame on external circumstances, other people, or even the world around us for our lack of progress or dissatisfaction. But here's the truth. No matter what's happening around you, you have control over one thing, and that's yourself. Think about it. No matter how many times you might face setbacks, failures, or challenges, the way you respond to those situations is entirely within your control. It's not the challenge itself that defines your life, but rather how you handle it. We cannot always control the events or circumstances that come our way, but we always have the power to decide how we react. That's where responsibility comes in. But you play a bigger role than we realize, and that's what you should be most proud of. Give yourself props for the reactions you have. Taking personal responsibility means realizing that your life is the result of your own decisions and actions. It means understanding that your success or lack of success is determined by what you choose to do or not to do. Too often, people fall into the trap of blaming others or their circumstances. They might say things like, I would be successful if my boss gave me a promotion. Or if I had more money, I could start my own business. Or if only I had the right connections, I'd be farther ahead. But when we point fingers at others or external conditions, we disempower ourselves. We give up control and essentially say, I am not responsible for my own success. Someone or something else needs to change for me to move forward. This mindset can be extremely limiting. When you start making excuses or blaming others for your circumstances, you stop looking at the most important factor in your life, you. You stop looking at the actions you can take, the decisions you can make, and the efforts you can put in to create the life you want. But here's the kicker. No one else is going to change your life for you. It's not your boss, your partner, your family, or the government that holds the key to your success. It's you. Let me share something I learned early on in my life. If you don't take responsibility for your own success, no one else will. The moment I understood that concept, everything began to shift. I realized that every failure, every setback, and every challenge I faced was not someone else's fault. It was mine to own. Now that might sound harsh to some, but here's the power in it. When you take responsibility for your life, you take back your power. You realize that you are in control. Let me explain this with a story. Early in my career, I had a mentor who helped me understand personal responsibility. I was constantly frustrated because I felt like I wasn't getting the opportunities I deserved. I was blaming others for holding me back, my boss, my colleagues, even my friends. But my mentor asked me a simple question, Jim, who is responsible for your success? At first, I thought it was an easy answer. The resolutions for your success. At first, I thought it was an easy answer. Of course, I thought it's my boss, my friends, or the company I work for. But he smiled and said, "No, Jim. You are responsible for your success. You create your opportunities, not others." That conversation changed everything for me. It forced me to stop looking outward and start looking inward. I stopped waiting for others to open doors for me, and instead, I began creating my own opportunities. I began taking actions that would move me forward, regardless of what anyone else was doing or not doing. The moment I took full responsibility for my future, I stopped being a victim of circumstance, and I became the architect of my own success. Taking personal responsibility doesn't mean you have to do everything alone. It doesn't mean you can't ask for help, learn from others, or lean on a mentor. What it does mean is that you take ownership of your decisions and actions. You stop waiting for others to fix things for you or give you what you think you deserve. You start making things happen. You stop making excuses, and you stop being passive about your future. Now, this is not always easy. It's easy to blame others. It's easy to point fingers and say, I would be better off if they just did their part. But the truth is, the moment you stop looking for external reasons for your struggles is the moment you free yourself to act. Instead of blaming others for your lack of success, ask yourself, what can I do differently? How can I improve? What steps can I take to change my current situation? By taking responsibility for your actions and decisions, you empower yourself to make the changes necessary to achieve your goals. Here's another key insight. When you take full responsibility, you also accept the consequences of your actions. If you make mistakes, you own them. If things don't go as planned, you don't make excuses. You learn from them and adapt. And this is where growth happens. It's when you can look at a failure, take full responsibility for it, learn from it, and then adjust your approach that you truly move forward. Without this level of responsibility, you'll keep repeating the same mistakes, and nothing will ever change. In the end, success is not about waiting for the right moment or the right person to come along. It's about realizing that you are the one who shapes your future. You are the one who can decide today to take responsibility for your life and start making progress. The minute you embrace that responsibility, your life changes. You'll be in control, you'll be empowered, and most importantly, you'll be on the path to creating the life you've always dreamed of. Remember this, your future is in your hands. So, take responsibility and watch your life transform. The power of self-improvement is one of the most essential components in building a successful and fulfilling life. It is an ongoing process that begins the moment you decide to grow and develop as an individual. When you focus on self-improvement, you are choosing to invest in your most important asset, yourself. And the beauty of self-improvement is that it's not something that's handed to you or dependent on anyone else. It's something that you can create and cultivate with consistent effort and dedication. When you commit to improving yourself, you are taking control of your future. It's easy to look at the world and think that everything around you must change before you can succeed. But the reality is, the world around you will always be filled with challenges, changes, and circumstances you can't control. What you can control is your response to these situations. And the more you work on improving yourself, the better equipped you will be to navigate whatever comes your way. Self-improvement is not about becoming someone else or trying to be perfect. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about honing your skills, expanding your knowledge, and developing the mindset necessary to achieve your goals. You might start from a place where you don't know much or don't have many resources, but if you're committed to learning and growing, you can overcome any obstacle and reach new heights. Every small improvement you make, every new skill you acquire, and every piece of knowledge you gain adds up over time and compounds into something powerful. The person you are today is not the person you have to be tomorrow. And through self-improvement, you can transform your future in ways you can't even imagine yet. One of the key aspects of self-improvement is the recognition that learning never stops. Often we think of education as something that ends after school, but that couldn't be further from the truth. True growth comes from continuous learning through books, podcasts, courses, mentors, and experiences. There is an abundance of knowledge out there, and the more you seek it, the more it will enrich your life. It's not about how much you already know, but rather your willingness to keep learning, to keep expanding your mind. When you make learning a lifelong habit, you'll find that opportunities begin to open up in ways you didn't expect. Your perspective will change, your ideas will grow, and the world will begin to look different to you. But learning alone is not enough. The key to turning knowledge into results is application. Too many people spend their lives accumulating information without ever applying it. They read books, attend seminars, and listen to podcasts, but they never take action. This is where the real magic happens. The transformation occurs when you take what you learn and implement it into your daily life. It's one thing to know the principles of success, but it's another to put them into practice. The knowledge that you gain is only as powerful as the actions you take based on that knowledge. Self-improvement also involves developing the right mindset. You can have all the knowledge and skills in the world, but if your mindset isn't right, you'll struggle to achieve your goals. The right mindset is a growth mindset, a belief that you can improve, learn, and become better no matter where you are right now. With a growth mindset, you don't see failure as a permanent condition, but rather as a stepping stone towards success. You understand that mistakes and setbacks are part of the journey, not roadblocks. This mindset gives you the courage to take risks, try new things, and keep going even when things get tough. But if there is ever a final reward for those who find it, it surely is worth it in the end. Building a growth mindset requires discipline. It requires the ability to push through discomfort and remain focused on the bigger picture. Self-improvement isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. Every time you push through a challenge or overcome a difficulty, you gain more confidence in yourself. And that confidence becomes the foundation upon which you build your success. Another powerful aspect of self-improvement is the idea of setting clear, specific goals. Goals give you direction and purpose. Without goals, you can easily become distracted or feel lost. When you set a goal, it provides a target for you to aim at, and your actions become more intentional. But just setting a goal isn't enough. You need to break that goal down into smaller, manageable steps and work on them every day. Small, consistent actions lead to significant results over time. You may not see immediate progress, but if you stay focused and committed to improving each day, you'll eventually reach your desired outcome. Self-improvement also involves building better habits. The actions you take consistently shape the person you become. If you want to become more successful, you need to develop habits that align with that success. This could mean waking up early, exercising, reading, meditating, or working on your personal projects. Your habits determine your future, and when you make positive, growth-oriented habits a part of your daily routine, you are laying the foundation for your success. It's important to remember that self-improvement is not a destination, but a journey. It's not something you do once and then stop. It's a lifelong commitment. Everything you do once and then stop. It's a life you desire. If you grow and improve, you'll face new challenges and opportunities, and you'll need to continue learning and adapting. Every step you take towards self-improvement brings you closer to the life you desire. So, if you're ready to start, begin with one simple step. Decide to improve. Commit to growing each day, even if it's just a small improvement. Whether it's reading a chapter of a book, learning a new skill, or developing a positive habit, every action counts. The more you invest in yourself, the more powerful and capable you become. And as you continue to grow, you'll find that your life transforms in ways that you never thought possible. Keep pushing forward, keep learning, and never stop improving. Your future self will thank you. The trap of comparison is something that affects nearly everyone at some point in their lives. It's so easy to look at others and think that they have something we don't, something better, something more. We scroll through social media, we watch others succeed, and we begin to compare their accomplishments to our own. We wonder why they seem to have everything figured out while we struggle to make progress. The problem with this comparison is that it distracts us from our own path and can cause us to lose focus on what truly matters, our own growth and progress. The truth is, comparing yourself to others is one of the most self-sabotaging things you can do. Every person's journey is unique, and there's no benefit to trying to live someone else's life. While it's natural to look at others and admire their success, it's crucial to remember that their story is not yours. You don't know the struggles, challenges, or sacrifices they've made to get to where they are. And more importantly, you don't know the full picture. What may seem perfect on the surface could be hiding difficulties that you can't see. Comparison can lead to frustration and discontentment. When you focus too much on others, you begin to feel like you're falling short, like you're not measuring up. This sense of inadequacy can leave you feeling stuck or unmotivated as you lose sight of your own potential. Instead of feeling proud of your own achievements, no matter how small, you may find yourself feeling defeated because someone else seems to be doing better. And when this becomes a pattern, it begins to rob you of your happiness and your ability to celebrate your own progress. Moreover, comparison often leads to a dangerous habit of measuring your worth based on other people's standards. When you compare yourself to others, you begin to adopt their expectations of success. You start to measure your value by their accomplishments, their lifestyle, or their achievements, forgetting that your worth is intrinsic and not defined by external standards. You might think, I'll be happy when I have what they have, or I'll be successful when I achieve what they've achieved. But this kind of thinking traps you in a cycle of never feeling like you're good enough. No matter how much you achieve, it will always feel like there's something more to do or something else to get, because you're chasing someone else's dream, not your own. The key to breaking free from the trap of comparison is to shift your focus. Instead of looking outward at what others are doing, turn your attention inward to your own life and goals. Ask yourself, what do I want to achieve? What is important to me? When you focus on your own path, you begin to define success on your own terms. You stop measuring your worth by someone else's achievements and start measuring it by your own progress, your own growth, and your own journey. One of the most important things you can do is acknowledge your own progress, even if it seems small. Too often we dismiss our own achievements because they don't look as impressive as someone else's. But remember, progress is progress, no matter the scale. Every step forward is worth celebrating. By focusing on your own progress and acknowledging your efforts, you build self-confidence and motivation to keep moving forward. It's also crucial to recognize that everyone's journey is different. Just because someone is ahead of you in one area of life doesn't mean they're ahead of you in every area. Some people may have more experience or resources in certain areas, but that doesn't mean you're behind. You may be ahead of them in other areas, and this is where comparison becomes truly useless. Life is not a race. It's a unique and personal journey for each of us. When you stop measuring yourself against others, you free yourself to follow your own path at your own pace. Additionally, the constant comparison to others can create a sense of dissatisfaction and resentment. When you focus too much on someone else's success, you may begin to feel envious or bitter. This negative energy can be toxic, not only to your well-being, but also to your relationships. Instead of feeling joy for others' successes, you start to feel frustrated that you're not in their position. But here's the thing, resentment doesn't serve you. It only holds you back. When you let go of comparison and focus on your own goals, you create space for gratitude and appreciation, which leads to a healthier and more positive mindset. If you find yourself comparing your progress to others, try to reframe your thinking. Instead of feeling envious, use their success as inspiration. If someone has achieved something you admire, ask yourself, what can I learn from them? What actions can I take to get closer to where I want to be? Let other people's successes fuel your own drive to improve and grow. Rather than looking at someone else's achievements with a sense of competition or inadequacy, view them as proof that what they've done is possible. Their success is not a reflection of your failure. It's a reminder that you, too, can achieve your goals if you keep working toward them. The key is to embrace your own unique path and trust the process. Understand that your journey will have its own timeline, its own challenges, and its own rewards. Trust that by focusing on your own growth, taking consistent action, and developing the right mindset, you will get to where you want to be. And when you stop comparing yourself to others, you'll find a sense of peace and fulfillment that comparison can never give you. Remember, your worth is not defined by where others are in their journey. Your worth is defined by the person you are and the effort you put into becoming the best version of yourself. So stop comparing and start focusing on your own growth. Your success is waiting for you, and it's yours to define. Understanding the importance of setting and working towards specific goals is essential for anyone who wants to achieve anything meaningful in life. Goals provide direction, purpose, and a sense of focus. Without them, it's easy to feel lost or aimless, drifting from one task to another without any clear destination in mind. Setting goals is like drawing a roadmap for your future. They act as a guide, showing you where you want to go and how you plan to get there. But more than that, goals represent your vision for what you want to achieve and who you want to become. One of the first things you must realize is that success doesn't happen by accident. It's not about waiting for the perfect opportunity to come along or hoping that things will fall into place. Success is the result of deliberate actions, decisions, and steps that you take every single day. And the foundation of those actions is the goals you set. Goals give you something to strive for and keep you focused on what truly matters. When you set a goal, you're giving yourself something specific to work toward. And with every step you take toward that goal, you build momentum and move closer to your ultimate objective. The process of goal setting is crucial, not just for the end result, but for the journey itself. When you set clear, measurable goals, you're essentially creating a roadmap that breaks down the larger, more abstract vision into manageable steps. The clarity that comes with setting goals gives you the focus to know exactly what to prioritize and what actions to take. It eliminates the overwhelm that comes with having a big dream and no plan. With a goal in mind, every decision you make can be measured by whether it brings you closer to achieving that goal. But while setting a goal is important, the true value comes in taking consistent action toward that goal. You can have the most detailed, well-thought-out goal, but if you don't take action toward it every day, it will remain nothing more than a dream. One of the keys to achieving your goals is committing to the process. Success is not a single event. It's a series of actions, decisions, and habits that you build along the way. Consistency is what turns a goal from a far-off dream into a reality. Here's where the importance of persistence and patience comes into play. When you set a goal, you're not just committing to the destination, but to the journey. And that journey will not always be smooth or easy. There will be obstacles, setbacks, and failures along the way. The process of achieving your goals is often filled with challenges, but it's in those challenges that the real growth happens. Success is not defined by how quickly you reach your goal, but by how committed you are to overcoming the difficulties that come along the way. Each time you face a challenge and keep moving forward, you grow stronger and more resilient. Another aspect of goal setting is flexibility. Life has a way of changing quickly, and your circumstances may shift in ways you didn't anticipate. While it's important to stay committed to your goals, you must also be willing to adjust your plans as needed. Sometimes the path to your goal may not be as straight as you thought. Unexpected obstacles might arise, or new opportunities may present themselves that change the direction of your journey. Being flexible means being willing to adapt, to reassess your goals, and to pivot when necessary. It doesn't mean giving up on your dream, but it does mean being open to different paths to get there. Flexibility helps you stay on track, even when things don't go according to plan. Living with flexibility helps you develop a strategy of adjustment. In the process of working toward your goals, it's essential to break them down into smaller, more manageable pieces. Large, overwhelming goals can often feel too daunting to tackle, leading to procrastination or a sense of defeat. But when you break those goals down into smaller, actionable steps, it makes them more achievable. Each small win adds to your momentum and keeps you motivated to continue. For example, if your goal is to run a marathon, it would be unrealistic to expect yourself to run the full distance on day one. Instead, you break it down into smaller, incremental goals, running a mile, then 2, then gradually building up to the full distance. Each small goal met builds your confidence and reinforces your commitment to the larger goal. One of the most important things you can do when working toward your goals is to track your progress. Monitoring how far you've come not only gives you a sense of accomplishment, but also helps you stay motivated. It allows you to see what's working, what's not, and where adjustments need to be made. Tracking your progress also helps you stay accountable to yourself. It's easy to let goals slip when you don't have a system in place to measure your progress. But when you actively track your efforts, you create a sense of urgency and purpose that keeps you on track. Equally important is the need for self-reflection. Taking time to reflect on your goals and your progress allows you to assess whether you are on the right path. Reflection helps you to identify areas where you can improve, celebrate the milestones you've achieved, and refine your approach moving forward. It's also an opportunity to evaluate whether your goals are still aligned with your values and vision for your life. Statements like these might help you grow past the limiting beliefs that hold you back and make you the best version of yourself. Sometimes, as you grow and evolve, your goals may shift. This is perfectly natural, and it's a sign that you are learning and developing. Reflecting regularly ensures that your goals remain relevant and meaningful to you. Building positive habits is one of the most powerful ways to shape your life. Habits are the small, repeated actions you take every day, and they are often the unseen force that drives your success, or conversely, your failure. Your habits determine the kind of person you become, and by extension, the quality of your life. Success doesn't come from occasional bursts of effort or moments of brilliance. It comes from consistent, disciplined action over time. And this is where habits play a crucial role. The little things you do day in and day out add up over the long term to create big changes in your life. The key to building positive habits is understanding that they don't happen overnight. Habits are formed through repetition, and repetition requires consistency. Whether it's exercising every morning, reading a chapter of a book, or sticking to a budget, the power of a habit lies in its ability to become automatic. The more you repeat a behavior, the less effort it takes, and the more ingrained it becomes in your daily routine. In time, these habits form the foundation upon which all your achievements are built. They become part of who you are and shape your identity. The process of building a new habit starts with a clear intention. You have to decide what it is you want to change or improve. But simply having the intention is not enough. You need to create a plan that makes the habit easy to start and easy to sustain. The best way to build a new habit is to make it small and achievable. If your goal is to start exercising, for example, don't overwhelm yourself by aiming to work out for an hour every day right from the start. Begin with something simple like taking a 10-minute walk each day. The key is to start small so that you don't set yourself up for failure by taking on too much too soon. Once you've started with small steps, you can gradually build on them. If you start by walking 10 minutes a day, you'll soon find that it's easy to increase that time as the habit becomes ingrained. As your habit becomes more automatic, it requires less mental energy to do it. This is why it's so important to begin with a small, manageable goal. Because once it's part of your routine, you can increase the challenge. But the critical element here is the consistency with which you approach the habit. Not how much you try to do all at once. To make a new habit stick, it's essential to have triggers or cues that remind you to take action. For example, if you want to build the habit of reading every day, set a trigger, like having a book next to your bed or creating a specific time in your day when you read. Triggers serve as reminders that prompt the desired behavior. The more you pair the behavior with a specific cue, the easier it becomes to remember and repeat it consistently. Another powerful strategy for building positive habits is tracking your progress. When you track your habits, you give yourself visual proof of your consistency, which can be a great motivator. You can use a calendar, a habit tracking app, or a journal to record each day that you complete your habit. Tracking provides a sense of accomplishment and encourages you to keep going, especially when you see a streak of successful days. The feeling of progress is often enough to fuel your continued effort. One of the biggest challenges in building positive habits is overcoming the resistance that often arises, especially in the early stages. There will be days when you don't feel like following through or when distractions get in the way. It's easy to give in to the temptation to skip your habit just this once. But what separates those who succeed from those who don't is the ability to push through these moments of resistance. Building a habit requires a commitment to show up, even on the days when it's hard or inconvenient. Consistency is the key to making your habit automatic. And if you're able to push through the discomfort and continue even when you don't feel like it, you'll see your habits start to take root. It's also important to recognize that setbacks are a normal part of the process. Just because you miss a day or two doesn't mean you've failed. Everyone slips up from time to time. The key is not to be overly critical of yourself when things don't go perfectly. Instead of giving up, focus on getting back on track as quickly as possible. Don't allow one missed day to derail your entire progress. So the most successful people are not the ones who never face setbacks. They're the ones who have learned to bounce back quickly and keep moving forward. Positive habits are also interconnected. Often, one good habit can lead to the development of others. For example, if you start waking up early every morning to exercise, you might find that you also start eating healthier or going to bed earlier. One habit can create a ripple effect that influences other areas of your life. This is why it's important to focus on building habits that align with your larger goals. When you create a positive habit in one area, it can elevate other areas and create a compounding effect. Over time, these interconnected habits will reinforce each other and lead to greater personal growth and success. However, it's important to remember that building positive habits doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It's not about achieving flawless consistency every single day. It's about making incremental improvements over time. If you fall off track, don't get discouraged. Just refocus and get back into your routine. Consistency, not perfection, is the key to making positive habits stick. Building positive habits is not just about what you do, it's about who you become. When you make the effort to cultivate habits that support your goals, you are strengthening your character. You're developing the discipline, focus, and perseverance necessary to achieve great things. The habits you build today will determine the person you become tomorrow. By committing to positive habits, you're creating a future where success is inevitable. Remember, habits shape your destiny. The more positive habits you cultivate, the greater the results you'll see in your life. Whether it's financial success, personal growth, physical health, or any other area of your life, the habits you develop will serve as the foundation upon which you build your success. Focus on developing small, consistent habits, and over time, you'll find that they lead to massive transformation.